Hit subscribe, drop a like, and share this with someone who loves anime as much as you do. Because today, we're breaking down the most perfectly crafted manga endings ever written. This is Greater Arcs, where stories get dissected, arcs get analyzed, and endings get judged with maximum precision. Let's not waste time. Let's talk about the finales that stuck the landing so hard they shaped entire fandoms. Death Note, the perfect fall. Let's start with Death Note, because this is the blueprint for a villain's downfall, done right. Light doesn't die as a mastermind. He dies as a man with nowhere left to hide. And here's the part people overlook. Light doesn't lose because Nier is smarter. He loses because Light finally becomes the kind of person he used to manipulate. Desperate, emotional, human. The irony is brutal. The god of the new world goes out terrified and alone, begging for a second chance in a world he tried to reshape. The ending works because it's symmetrical. Light rises by believing he's above humanity, and falls because he never understood it. Justice isn't delivered by strength. It's delivered by truth. Death Note ends the only way it ever could, and that's why it's legendary. But if Death Note is the cleanest fall from grace ending, this next one is the most chaotic, poetic, and emotionally messy. Chainsaw Man Part 1, the ending that hurts and heals. Chainsaw Man's finale is wild, but people miss the deeper meaning. Makima doesn't lose because Denji beats her. She loses because she never understood him. Makima thinks she's manipulating a broken boy. What she doesn't see is that the very things she views as weaknesses, Denji's emotions, bonds, cravings for love, are what make him unpredictable enough to defeat her. Makima loses because she can't comprehend genuine connection. So when Denji consumes her, it's not revenge. It's Denji reclaiming control of a relationship built entirely on manipulation. And then, Nayuta, a reset, but not a rewrite. A chance for Denji to define love without chains. Chainsaw Man ends like a car crash wrapped in a warm blanket. Chaos, pain, and a surprisingly hopeful restart. It's messy in the most Chainsaw Man way possible, and that's why it works. But not every great ending needs to be messy. Some finales hit hardest because they're simple and intentional. 3. Demon Slayer, the power of a quiet ending. Demon Slayer proves something most shonen forget. You don't need shock value when your story has heart. Tanjiro survives the impossible. Nezuko returns to being human. Muzan is gone for good. And Zenitsu lies himself into a legacy greater than his actual bravery. Peak Zenitsu behavior. The reason this ending works? Because Demon Slayer was never about power. It was about family. The story begins with tragedy and ends with healing. Even the time skip is more than a flash forward. It's a message. The world they fought for actually exists now. No overcomplication, no forced twists, just clean emotional storytelling that respects the journey. And sometimes, that's enough. Alright, let's talk about the ending that split the anime community in half. The one people still argue about years later. Attack on Titan. The ending that refused to be clean. Say what you want about Attack on Titan's ending, but you can't deny it's unforgettable. Here's the part most people miss. Isayama never promised a happy ending. He promised an honest one. Eren's final choice isn't portrayed as heroic. It's portrayed as inevitable, a tragic product of trauma, prophecy, and a world that never gave him a future. The rumbling isn't a twist. It's the final consequence of generations of hatred grinding down one boy. AOT doesn't end with a message of hope. It ends with the truth that cycles of violence don't disappear just because the villain dies. It's uncomfortable. It's messy. It's painfully human. You don't have to like the ending, but you can't deny it fits the world Isayama built. And that's exactly why it stays with you. After all that pain, let's end on the gold standard, the ending every writer wishes they could pull off. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the gold standard. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is the most complete ending in manga history. Everything comes back to one idea: equivalent exchange. Edward doesn't win because he's chosen. He wins because he chooses to take responsibility by giving up alchemy, not out of weakness, not out of loss, but out of love. And here's the genius. Every single character gets closure. No wasted arcs, no dropped threads, no, wait, what about this person? FMAB ends exactly where it needs to end. Not too early, not too late. It's intentional, it's earned, it's perfect. The payoff, what these endings all share. All these endings, Death Note, Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist, look completely different on the surface. But they all end with truth. Not fan service, not shock value, not last-minute twists. Real, authentic, earned truth. Endings that respect the characters, the world, and the message the story was always building toward. That's what makes them unforgettable. Now it's your turn. Which manga ending hit you the hardest? Which one lives rent-free in your head forever? Drop your answer in the comments, and if you want more deep anime breakdowns done right, like, subscribe, and share this with someone who loves good storytelling. More heat is coming, more arcs to break down, more stories to dissect. This is Greater Arcs, signing out.